Okay, so welcome to this evening's webinar, 20 Unbelievable Things About the Stock Market That Most People Don't Know. First, I want to introduce myself very briefly. My name is J.R. Fenwick, and I want to give you just a very 2-minute background on myself so you'll kind of know who I am, some of the things I've done, and how I even got involved in the stock market, because a lot of people may think that you had to go to Harvard and then get a degree in finance or business and then go work on Wall Street and be a hedge fund manager or a stockbroker or a financial planner or something like that. And so I did none of those things. So my story is completely opposite of what a lot of people believe. So I grew up in Ohio. I went on to attend Hampton University, and I graduated with a nursing pre-med degree. Father was a doctor. My mother was a nurse, so I ended up getting this unique nursing pre-med degree. After I graduated, I went on to work in a hospital in the D.C. area for about a year. And after that, I decided I didn't want to go on to medical school. And so what happened was I left the hospital, and I went into pharmaceutical, medical equipment, and diagnostic sales and marketing. And I did that for about 13 years after graduation, and ended up generating over $50 million for major Fortune 100 companies through the sales efforts of the various products that I promoted and the territories that I had. But along the way, I realized that's not what I wanted to do. Even though I was making all this money, 6 figures, company car and all that, I wasn't happy. And I wanted to get up and do things that made me excited and were built around my passions. So I started building little businesses around my passions, which were playing guitar, recording and production, martial arts and self-defense, and marketing and sales. And I started building just these little side businesses while I was doing my corporate job. And within 12 months, I started making well over $100,000 from my corporate jobs. And so I quit my job. I was like, man, it just feels too good to make money doing what I love. And I always had planned on being my own boss, controlling my own destiny anyway. So I later went on to found and become the CEO of FlipThatStock.com and HoldThatStock.com. I released an award-winning book called How I Quit My $100,000 a Year Job, which was a book that I actually went in my studio and recorded because it felt so good to be doing what I love, making money, that I wanted to share that with other people. I have a new book coming out this fall entitled How I Quit My Job and Built a $1 Million Company. And I'm a national speaker, trainer, and coach, and I've been featured in numerous newspaper articles, radio shows, and speaking at entrepreneur conferences across the country. And here's some of the articles that have come out about me. This one was in the Washington Post. There was talking about the book, Don't Let Your Boss See You Reading This. Another one came out, excuse me, Want to Quit Your Job? Boy Man Shows the Way. I kind of became known as this guy who, if you want to quit your job and take your passions and turn them into profits, that was kind of my reputation. Here's another one, Big Wad of Cash. Another one, I even years ago produced my own TV show called the Kick Your Boss to the Curb Show. So an article came out about that. And then once I launched Flip That Stock and Hold That Stock, articles started coming out about that and this unique system that I put together to teach people how to flip stocks, hold stocks, and how the whole stock market works. Some of the conferences I've spoken at is the Power Networking Conference, the How To Conference, and again, these are some of the books that I've put out. So again, I just wanted to kind of share a little bit of my background with you so you can kind of get a feel for who I am and where I came from and some of the things that I've done. So the question becomes, how did I get involved in this whole stock market thing? Because like I said, I didn't have a finance degree, I did none of that. Basically what happened was I met a guy who was selling a piece of music equipment that I wanted for my recording and production studio. And we became really good friends. He had a little studio and was a musician. And we started hanging out, and literally 2 years after we met, he asked me, did I trade in the stock market? I was like, nope, I don't trade in the stock market, and I had no interest in trading in the stock market. I had all my passions lined up with the studio and martial arts and a marketing and sales company I started. So I'm making my six figures. I'm happy. And for 2 years, he just stayed on me. And he was just like, you can't be a real businessman if you don't know how the stock market works. Everything goes through the stock market in one way, shape, or form. And so one day, after 2 years, he showed me his portfolio. He gave me these two big envelopes. I opened them, and clearly it was some kind of bank statement, it looked like, but it was a stock market statement, and it had $1 million portfolio in it. And that just blew my mind. Now, over the 2 years, he was telling me all this stuff about I need to get in the stock market. The funny thing was it was making sense. So you know how sometimes people tell you something, and it makes sense, but you're still resisting? But this was like, over the 2 years, just making more and more sense. And then when he dropped this on me, I was like, man, I'm in. I'm getting in. And I became obsessed. I kind of have this personality when I want to learn something, don't get in my way, because I'm not going to stop until I learn it. I kind of got that pit bull vice grip. I'm going to, latch on to it till I get it. So I became obsessed with learning, about the stock market, how to trade, how to invest. And I ended up attending a seminar. My buddy was teaching me. I ended up attending this seminar, and I bought this software, an education course. This was maybe 15 years ago. And the course cost, 15 years ago, it cost $3,000 and $129, I think it was $126 or $129 a month to get the feed to come into the software. The software is like your TV. The feed would be like the cable coming into it. And I'm an organizations and systems fanatic. Just show me what to do, and I'm going to follow the system. And that's exactly what I did. And so started trading and investing and made $3,400 my first month. Not rich, not a millionaire, anything like that, but I knew the system worked. And I knew there was an opportunity for unlimited potential. And then one day, when the stock market first opened, I bought this stock, and literally in 6 minutes, it shot up $1,000. I bought it and made $1,000 in 6 minutes. That's when I just lost my mind and was like, are you freaking kidding me? Now, I didn't know at that time why that stock shot up and all that, but I became, again, obsessed with trying to figure out why did that stock in that short period of time shoot up like that, because I wanted to do it again. So that's kind of how my journey began and how I got into all this stuff. And later, I've been flipping stocks and buying stocks for years. I decided to tell some of my closest friends about it because it was kind of like my little secret. I hadn't told anybody about it. And when I started telling them about it, they started asking me to teach them. And I said, okay, I'll start this little club, just with a few friends, just like we go out and play basketball, go to the movies or dinner. I'll start a little club where we'll get together, weekly and talk about, flipping stocks, holding stocks and stuff like that. Well, lo and behold, they started telling people and telling people and telling people, and this thing just started growing and growing and growing. None of it was planned. It started growing and growing to the point where literally I'm sitting on my couch one day watching one of my favorite shows, Flip That House, and I said, I'm doing the same thing they're doing, except I'm doing it with the stock market. So I'm going to start a company called Flip That Stock. And since then, this was about 4 years ago, a little less than 4 years ago, we have grown to have members all across the country in almost every state, into Canada, and even into South Africa. So that's a little bit background about, how this whole thing came. And now we've just created this massive movement across the country and across the world. And it's very, very exciting because of the unique approach that we bring to it, which we'll get to that in a second. But let's get into the main topic, 20 things about the stock, unbelievable things about the stock market that most people don't know. One, the stock market is America's great wealth equalizer. You see, if you look at how people became wealthy and you pull back the curtain, most of them did it through, in one way or another, the stock market. So they had this article that came out and said over half Americans avoid the stock market, shouts a CNBC headline, highlighting a new study. They did a study on this, and it said it's sad, really, because those who aren't in are much poorer as a result. And it's the big reason for the so-called wealth gap. And so a lot of people think they can't get in this game of the stock market. and they're missing out on a huge opportunity. I saw one study that said more people have cats than own stocks. Now think about that. So number two, you know, being involved in the stock market and getting stock or shares of stock is an easy way to get ownership in companies without having to hire people, fire people, do product development, do marketing, invoicing, and collection. No, if I find a company that offers shares of stock and I like what they're doing or they exhibit certain characteristics, I can literally go in and buy it, become an owner in it, and I don't have to deal with any of this stuff right here. I like that. Number three, once you buy shares of stock, you can either flip them, which is going in and buying and selling them in a short period of time to get quick profits and generate ongoing money, whether it's daily, weekly, or monthly. Or you can hold the stocks with the intention of profiting over time. So, for example, like when you buy a house and it builds up equity over time. So these are the two main things that people do, is they either flip stocks or they hold stocks. The interesting thing is that by doing this, you generate passive income. So owning shares of stock gives you the opportunity. It's not a guarantee, but it gives you the opportunity to generate passive income. See, this is the passive income scene where you can sit on the beach and make money. Because once you've bought shares of stock, what are you doing other than that, just buying them? You don't physically go and have to push a button or dig a ditch or go to work or anything like this to make the stock go up or down, right? It's going to go do that on its own, which gives you the opportunity to generate passive income, which is why 92% of wealthy people are involved in the stock market in one way, shape, or form. Okay? Number five, there's no limits. Unlike your job that has limits, it pays you so much per hour, or salary, it still has limits on it. There's only so many hours in a day that you can work. Well, when you buy a stock, there's no limit. Say you buy a share of stock for, again, a share, just a sliver, a piece of ownership in a company. Suppose you buy a share of stock for $5. All right, that thing could go up to $10, $20, $100, $200, $300. There's no limit on how high it could go. But when you have a job, your job cannot grow like that. Most people's job is not going to, start off and say, well, okay, I'm paying you $20 an hour, and a year later they're paying you $300 an hour. I don't know of any jobs like that. So that's another thing that's a beautiful thing about the stock market, is that it just has no limits on where it could go. Another thing, number 6, is that a stock can only go in 3 directions, either up, sideways, or down. So what do I mean by that? All right, because a lot of times you see this stuff on TV. They try and make this stuff so complicated. Oh, this, you see all these people talking about this stuff. At the end of the day, stock can only go up. Let's say you bought it for $5. It goes up to $10. That's up. Say you bought it for $5 and it goes down to $3. That's down. Say you bought it for $5 and it goes like $5.10, $5.20, $4.80. That's kind of, going sideways. So when you understand the simplicity of this and the concept behind it, then it gets into, okay, how can I make money off of that? And we're going to talk about that a little bit more. Number 7, most people don't know that you can make money when a stock goes down. When I found this out, I was done. My mind was blown. I didn't never hear them talk about this on TV, that you can make money when a stock goes down. You always hear about buy low, sell high, but they never said that when a stock is crashing, you can make money. So the next time that you turn on the TV and you hear that the stock market is crashing, you best believe that behind the curtain there are people like me who are celebrating, because we have a technique and we know step by step how to make money when a stock goes down. So we really don't care which way the stock goes, up or down. We know how to make money. All right, and this webinar is not to go into detail on each little technique and all that, just to give you a general idea of some of the things that a lot of people don't know or misconceptions that they have about the stock market. Number 8, that should say determining which direction. So you don't even have to know how to spell to make money in the stock market, but it should say determining which direction a stock will go is a lot like reading street signals, right? So you're driving along the street, and eventually, as you start driving, you start learning, what all these different signals mean. And those will help you to determine, hey, you know what? Do I want to turn right here? Like, if I'm going up a street and I see this, okay, there's some construction going on. So maybe I want to turn on the side road so I don't have to get, stuck behind that. Deer or bears are in the area, or kids are playing. We learn how to read all these signals and we process them, which will help us determine what direction that we want to go on the road. It's the same way with the stock market. You start learning these signals and these clues that help you determine which direction the stock may go. It's not a guarantee, right? Just like if you're driving down the street and you see the sign that there may be some deer. Well, it's not a guarantee that the deer is going to cross that street, but it's just kind of warning you, hey, keep your eyes open because it could. It's the same way in the stock market. So it's really interesting, again, one of the skills that I have and my team has, we take all this so-called complex stuff and we just break it down into simple, everyday terms that people can understand and get immediately. Number 9, and this is probably my favorite, technology has made it available to buy and sell stocks from anywhere in the world using your laptop, your tablet, and your cell phone, thus creating this new term called the laptop lifestyle. I'm telling you, I travel the country, and all I need is my laptop or my tablet. And it doesn't matter if I get stuck in a snowstorm or something. It's okay, because I can run my whole business. I can do buy stocks and hold them. I can flip stocks. All I need is a laptop or a tablet or my cell phone. That's the type of life that I wanted. Those who know me, and if they have more time, we could go into, I love freedom. I don't want anybody telling me what I can do, how much money I can make. You got to be here. You only have 2 weeks of vacation per year. I just don't believe life was meant to be that way. And so I said, I'm not going to live on those terms. But when you make that statement, you have to do something and put something in place, get on a vehicle that will allow you to live the lifestyle that you want to live. And the combination of technology and the stock market certainly has allowed me this lifestyle, and I love teaching it to other folks. Number 10, you need to open up a brokerage account in order to buy and sell stocks. And a lot of people don't know that. They think, okay, you open up this separate account, and if I put some money in it, then I can only use that to buy shares of stock. But now there's various brokerage accounts. They're not all the same, but there are various brokerage accounts that we teach people about that you can use as a bank, even if you never buy shares or stock with them. So you get an ATM Visa card, you get a checks from them, you can do online banking, but you're set up that if you do see an opportunity in the stock market, bam, you can go in and take advantage of it. So now you got a brokerage account and a bank all in one. And a lot of people don't know that. And so there's hundreds of brokerage firms out here, so it's important to know, because they're not all the same, which ones offer which. But this is a very key point to know. Number 11, this is another thing that's interesting. People think that there's these rules that once you buy a stock, you have to hold it for a certain period of time. So there's no law or rule that you have to hold a stock a certain length of time. As a matter of fact, I'm going to show you this video here where I made $500 in 47 seconds flipping a stock. All right, don't let all of this right here intimidate you. It looks intimidating. You know what? If you were to look at your dashboard on your car with all the blinking lights that are going off and you didn't know how to drive a car, it would look intimidating to you too. But nobody says, no teenager says, well, I don't want to learn how to drive a car, because there's too many blinking lights. Don't let it intimidate you. I promise you, this stuff is not complicated. It just looks that way. So I'm going to play this, and I'm just going to show you real quickly. They have these things. They're called candlesticks. A red one means the stock is going down in price. A green one means it's going up. And then over here, PL just stands for profit loss, to tell you if you're making money or you're losing money. So I bought this stock, and I'm going to push play. All right, you hear that bell? And that says that I just bought the stock. I'm going to go back a little bit, all right, because I want you to see right out the gate I started losing money. The stock was down. I was down $67.97. But stocks fluctuate up and down, especially if they're volatile, all right? And when we're flipping stocks, we're looking for volatile stocks. And so as we're moving along, then it's this, see, the green bar means it's making money. It starts to shoot up. And so I have a special software where I can record stock flips that I'm doing, and it's just going and going. And I want you to pay attention. You see this little red line here. Hopefully it's not too faint, and there's a red line here. This is my take profit line, and this is my stop loss line, and we'll talk more about that in a second. But based on remember we were talking about reading the signals, like driving a car. Based on me reading the signals of this stock, I saw the signals that indicated this may shoot up, and so I put a line there, and it said I automated this process. And I said, hey, if it hits that line, boom, cash me out and give me my profit. And that's exactly what it did. It gave me $500 in 47 seconds. All right, and likewise, I had some protection underneath it. We'll talk about that a little later. Number 12, you can automate the entire buying and selling process, which is what you just saw. I had that whole process automated. It told, okay, when to buy the stock. It said, hey, when to get out. And it said, hey, this is how to protect me if the stock doesn't do what I want it to do. So technology, again, has made it so that we can automate this whole process. Just like you can get in your car and get on the highway and put it in cruise control and it'll go. And even if you buy I was test driving a Tesla, and man, the car drives itself. And we got on the highway, and the guy was like, take your hands off the steering wheel and put it behind your head. I was like, man, you're crazy. And I said, I'm not doing that, because who does that, right? So I did take my hands off the steering wheel. I just put them on my lap just in case I needed to grab the steering wheel. And the car was just freaking driving by itself, switching lanes, and it had all these. It was unbelievable. I mean, truly unbelievable. Well, in the stock market, we can automate the process too and take our hands off of it. We set our parameters, and bam, we go. Number 13, this is a big one. You can set a risk amount before buying a stock to protect yourself. You hear people like, oh, the stock market's too risky. Oh, it's gambling. Oh, you better not get involved in this. I want y'all to think about this. If it was really all of that, risky and gambling, why are 92% of wealthy people involved in it? Why is the majority of wealth coming from behind the stock market or from the stock market? Maybe people who have educated themselves know something different than those people who don't know. Met a person not too long ago who had built up a stock portfolio of $100,000 and then said it crashed on them. And had they known one little technique about how to adjust their risk, they wouldn't have lost the majority of their money. And that's the thing that we teach. You got to know how to adjust your risk going in, and then once you make your money, you got to know how to protect it. Very, very important. Number 14, you don't have to be rich to get started. This is kind of another thing. People are like, well, I see all these millionaires. You don't have to be rich to get started. You can start small and grow. Number 15, the truth about making money in the stock market is in this formula right here. So if you can learn this formula, you can learn how to make money in the stock market. That's option A. Or option B is, this is a bunch of crap, and this is what they want people to think is the formula, and it looks all complicated, but the real formula is this. You simply take the number of shares, and remember, a share is just a sliver of ownership in a company, times the price movement, and that will tell you what your profit or loss is. Now, it's important to understand this formula because most people don't start with the formula. They start with the stock. They say, oh, you should get some Google stock. All right, well, Google costs about $900 per share. So let me show you this. Let's look at two examples. And example number one, we have somebody, they buy one share of stock, and it moves $1. All right, so one share times price movement of $1. Say it went from, $1 to $2. That's a $1 movement. So they made $1. Example two, suppose you buy 1,000 shares of a stock, and it moves $1. Now you made $1,000. Same movement, all right, same price movement, different number of shares. So that's why it's important to understand how to find the right stock. See, if somebody said get some Google, well, how many shares of a $900 stock could you get, right? So that might not work for most people. So this is the formula for making money. But you got to know how to find these shares and read the signals and learn which direction that the stock may be going. Number 16, does not require sitting in front of a computer all day. Does not require doing research for 3 and 4 hours and all this stuff that a lot of people have conjured in their head just to buy and sell shares of stock. It just is not true. Technology has made this much, much easier with the click of a button. Number 17. I look at the news to kind of see what's going on with the stock market, determine what I want to buy. The news can be deceiving. But if you know how to use the news, you can make money. Remember we were talking about how you can make money when the price of a stock goes down? Some people plant, the big term now is fake news. Well, some people do plant fake news in the media to drive the price of a stock down so that they can hop on and make money as that stock goes down. So, how do you know if the news is fake news or whatever? Well, there's a certain way that we know how to read the news and read the charts and correspond the two to give us the advantage, to have the opportunity to make money, right? So, like I use the analogy, if you are a mouse and there's a mouse trap in front of you and you don't know it's a mouse trap, you'll probably get trapped. But if you're a mouse and there's a mouse trap in front of you and you know it's a mouse trap, then it's not really a mouse trap to you. So same concept here is like, when they're putting news out there, we know how to use that news to our advantage and not get trapped. Number 18, unlike other things you buy, like a house or a car or anything else you buy and want to sell quickly, you can sell your shares of stock with the click of a button. How many people do you know back when the housing market was crashing wish that they could just go on their laptop or computer, cell phone or tablet and push a button and sell their house just like that, right? So that's another beautiful thing. If I'm in the stock and it's not doing what I wanted to do and I haven't automated the process, I can click a button and bam, I'm talking about within a matter of seconds, get out. Likewise, if the stock is shooting through the roof and I want to get out and take my profits and I haven't pre-set up and automated it, I can go in, click a button and get out like that. That is powerful. I mean, when you start combining all these things of the freedom of being able to do it anywhere in the world, sitting on a beach if you want to, being able to get in and out of the stocks with a click of a button, being able to automate the process, being able to make money this way. When I just started learning all this stuff, in case you can't hear it in my voice, and I've been doing this over 15 years now, the excitement is still there because I can't believe that this opportunity exists like this to live the life that I enjoy, and anybody can if they put the time and effort into it. Number 19, knowing how the stock market works benefits you socially. Now, what does that mean? All right. You better believe that people who have money, whether they're wealthy, financially free, or upwardly mobile, they know how the stock market works. And when they get together in a setting, they'll talk about everything else, the kids, sports, entertainment, but they'll always throw in there, hey, what stock you looking at? What you doing? What technique are you using that stock? If it's the weekend, hey, on Monday, I think this stock is going to do X, Y, Z. Let's check it out. Let me know what you think. So if you don't know how the stock market works, and if you're not actively involved in it, you're missing out socially. And that's a big, big thing if you're trying to build the lifestyle, the income, the freedom that you want. And number 20, knowing how the stock market works, knowing how to flip stocks, knowing how to hold stock is a skill. It's a skill you're learning that you can use the rest of your life to make money. Remember when I said, I was telling you about my background, and I graduated from Hampton University with a nursing pre-med degree, right? I never went on to medical school. It just wasn't what I wanted to do. But I do have an RN license that I can use anytime. It's a skill that I can, tomorrow if I wanted to, I could pick up the phone, and as an RN, because they're in such demand, I could utilize that skill to go out and make money. Well, it's the same thing here. When you have the skill of knowing how the stock market works and how to flip stocks, how to hold stocks, it's a skill you can use the rest of your life to make money. If you believe that the stock market isn't going out of business at any time, and the stock market is made up of companies in America and around the world, so if the stock market goes out of business, that means the world's coming to an end because these companies are all going to be gone. So think about that. It's a skill that you're learning. You can use the rest of your life. So learning how to flip and hold stocks is not complicated if you do two things. But the challenge is a lot of people don't do the two things, all right, if they want to get involved, or they just don't get involved because they didn't know these 20 things that I just shared with you. But if you do these two things, number one, you get educated, right? Just like driving a car, you have to get educated. And number two, you get yourself a mentor and a coach. See, you can get educated on how to drive a car, but then you have to go and get a driving instructor to sit next to you while you do it, right? You can't just say, well, I read the book on driving a car. I watched a video on driving a car. No, I know how to do it. No, it doesn't work that way. So people who are highly successful in anything, take a surgeon. He gets educated, then he gets a mentor and coach to teach him and practice, and then they do it. A dentist, a pilot, a teacher, almost an engineer, a janitor. Get educated, have somebody show them how to do it, and then they do it. There's no profession that doesn't follow this for success. But a lot of people, they want to skip this because they just focus on the money. I just want the money. No, it doesn't work that way. Get educated, get a mentor and coach, and then they will help you get to the money, and they will help you protect yourself along the way. So some people say, well, Jay, come on, man, I can do this myself. All I got to do is go on Google, and I'll just put in, how to invest in stocks, and the websites will come up. I'll just go to one of the 161 million websites. And good luck. Which one you going to start with? Well, I'll put in how to trade stocks. Good luck. Which one of the 431 million websites are you going to start with? Okay, well then I'll go and I'll look at YouTube, and I'll, they got videos on everything, how to trade stocks. Yeah, they also got 5 million videos that come up. Which one you starting with? How to invest in stocks. They got 3 million that come up. So it's a double-edged sword. The good news is there's no lack of information out there on how the stock market works and how to get involved. The bad news is I don't know not one person who became successful, competent, and consistently profitable from a video or reading a book on the stock market. Remember the 2 steps. Get educated, get a mentor or coach. And so me and my team would like to be your mentor and coach. And I've developed 2 unique memberships to help beginners learn how to flip stocks and or how to hold stocks. And the memberships, they're different, all right? So I kind of have a comparison here. So starting with the Flip That Stock, this one is giving you the opportunity to generate income daily, weekly, monthly, just like I did where I show you the video making, $500 in 47 seconds. Now, let me say this right now. I'm not guaranteeing somebody's going to do that. I just showed you that to show, hey, it's fast-paced, it's quick income. I mean, if you made $500 in 30 minutes, if you made $100 in 10 minutes, whatever, it's fast income that you have the opportunity to make. We typically do it 1 hour. My system shows people how to do it 1 hour or thereabouts or less than a day. When you get started, you want to have, remember I was talking about opening up a bank account or a brokerage account you can use as a bank. You want to put or have about $2,500 in there to get started. Well, JR, what if I don't have that? Can I still get started? Yes, you can. And you can save. I have people who have joined Flip That Stock, and they're saving up the money, but they know what the target goal is. The more the better, but they know what the target goal is. And a lot of times they do better than my millionaire clients who have all this money, and they're just ready to go, go, go. And I'm like, no, hold on. You got to learn the system. They're just so excited. They got them. It's like having a shiny Ferrari with a tank full of gas, the keys, and insurance, but they don't know how to drive. We use high-powered software downloaded to your laptop, as you saw the software that that I use. Notice I didn't say complicated software. I said high-powered software. There's a difference. Also, there's no prior knowledge or experience needed. Non-complicated, fun and exciting, designed to generate income in less than an hour, and it's very affordable. So that's the Flip That Stock side, and there's a little bit more. We'll get into that in a second. On the Hold That Stock side, we're looking to generate income over a longer period of time. It could be a few days, few weeks, few months, few years. Slower pace, steady growth over time. You can do it anytime. You can place an order to buy a stock around the clock, but it won't trigger until the stock market's open. You can get started with $50. Now, keep in mind what the formula is, though. The formula for making money in the stock market is number of shares times movement, price movement. So you have to keep that in mind. But at least get in the game and get started. We're going to show you how to use a smartphone app, and you use smartphone apps on your Android or iPhone. The whole Hold That Stock system is set up to be done mobilely on your phone. A lot of people at work, they may not have time to do the Flip That Stock program because of what's going on at work, but they certainly are pulling their phone out at our work multiple times, and so they can do the Hold That Stock program. Things that are included in the membership for the Flip That Stock are online classes. We're going to teach you everything you need to know from A to Z on how to flip stocks. You don't need to know anything. We prefer you don't know anything, so we can, teach you the right way. We're going to show you how to create a game plan before you go in the stock market, similar to getting a GPS routing for when you're going somewhere. We're going to show you how to track your results. We're going to show you the main reasons people fail and how to avoid it. We're going to show you how to find stocks. We're going to show you how to set up the software. We're going to go live into the stock market, typically twice a week, and you're going to see these techniques and things demonstrated in action live in the stock market. We're going to show you how to set up a practice account and a live account. All of that's included in the Flip That Stock membership. For the Hold That Stock membership, we're going to have a video on it that shows you step by step how our Hold That Stock system works, how to find the stocks. We're going to show you what apps we use on our smartphone, and then we're going to give you access to our online board where we show different stocks that are in our portfolio, different stocks that we're looking at buying and holding, and the rationale behind them. And again, we're doing all of this from our smartphone. So we got Hold That Stock on this side, Flip That Stock on this side. Going back here, this is for people who want to generate money. It's quick pace. It's exciting. They have the time to do it, and they're like, hey, JR, show me. Just show me. I'm ready to go. This one is for people, maybe I want to go a little slower pace. My work schedule's a little hectic, but I can pull my phone out, a couple times or do it at night. I have access to do that. Okay, so it really kind of depends on, the situation and the scenario that you're in. And so we want to guide people to the right membership that works best for them. So how do you sign up? Let me show you this real quick. I'll come out of here. All you do, I've already got these pages loaded up, is you go to flipthatstock.com, where most of you have seen this page before. You click on Become a Member, fill in your information here, click Continue. It's going to take you to this page. All right, on this page, some of you may not have seen this. This is one of our Flip That Stock members who just gave a testimonial. Take a listen to her testimonial. Never had done stock market before, and got involved in our system about a year ago. And I'm not going to play it, but you can go and listen to her testimonial. And then you go down this page and it tells what exactly is flipping a stock. It has the video, some other information, frequently asked questions. But here's what I want to show you. What's included in the membership. So down here, we have different bonuses. Profit Friday you get access to, where we have members from all over the country tune in on every Friday while we do live stock flipping. If you want one-on-one coaching, you can get a discounted rate for that. Included is my audio book, How I Quit My $100,000 a Year Job. That's included in your membership. Here are some of the things people are saying. And then the normal price for an entire year of this membership is only $2,997. And depending on your mindset, some people might like, that's a lot. Some people like, that's it. One of the things I learned years ago, and remember I told you I bought that my educational package of software for $3,000 15 years ago, and was paying $100 and something a month for the feed. All right, for this price and what we're showing you is an incredible value in all that we're giving you. But we don't stop there. So the regular price is $29.97. But when you come down here to the order form, all right, you fill your information in, and you come here to the coupon code, enter 1997. And what that's going to do, and you click this little check mark here, and what that's going to do is that's going to take off $1,000 instantly and bring that price to $19.97 for a year membership. Okay, you put 1997. You might want to write this down. 1997. Make sure you click the check mark. That activates your code and gives you the discount. Now you're getting all that we mentioned before included in this membership for $19.97 for the year. Now let me tell you guys this. There's a price to get involved in the stock market. All right. You can go in there and bumble around and fumble around and all this, that, and the other and try and do it on your own. And you can easily lose $19.97, easily not knowing what you're doing. Or you can come and have somebody who's been doing it for 15 years walk you step by step by step how to do it. Either way, you're going to pay. You're going to pay by not knowing and potentially blowing up account and losing and falling into pitfalls. Even if you make money, how did you make it and how do you do it again? Or you can just pay somebody to show you how to do it. That's what successful people do. Get educated, get a coach or a mentor. Now for the Hold That Stock membership, okay, you can go up here and when you come to this, you scroll down. Again, it's going to show you what's included in the membership. And as you get down to the order form, it's only $4.97 for a 1-year membership. Okay, I'm going to show you how to take $200 off of that by coming down here, entering the coupon code 200. And again, this is at holdthatstock.com. This is at flipthatstock.com. You come in, you enter the $200. Not $200. You enter 200. You click on the check mark. And bam, instant 200 savings. So now you're getting this for $297. We launched Hold That Stock, I guess about 4 months ago. So this is an introductory price. This will be going up shortly. So, and it's going to be going up from the $4.97. So if you're serious and you want to get in, go ahead and put these codes in and either grab your Flip That Stock membership or your Hold That Stock membership. But we're not going to stop there. For those who want to get the the Flip That Stock membership, all right, we have an introductory package that if you get the Flip That Stock membership, we're going to include the Hold That Stock membership for free. So now that's the best value. It went from $29.97, let's just say $3,000 plus another $500 for Hold That Stock. That's $3,500. Now you're getting all of it for $19.97. For those who want to do it, you're getting the best of both worlds. So I'm going to wrap this up, and let me go back here. And I just want to ask you, what would you do if you really owned your life? If you really owned your life, if every day you got up, you got to decide what you want to do, how you want to do it, where you want to do it, who you want to do it with, for how long you want to do it. Those who know me they know that's what I'm all about, designing the life that I want. And I've been fortunate and blessed enough to do it. And it's something that, like when I told you how this whole thing with Flip That Stock got started, it wasn't planned. I just wanted to have a few friends that I could flip stocks with, and it just grew into something that just has exploded around the country and into Canada, and like I said, even into South Africa. And so I'm excited to share it with you. I'm excited to teach. It's my passion. I love coaching people to be successful. There's a lot of things that come along with this that I didn't even talk about that I add in. Just little entrepreneurial tips, because most people who are joining and becoming Flip That Stock members are entrepreneurs. And since I've created many successful companies and worked for some of the biggest Fortune 100 companies and got training from them, there's a lot of knowledge and resources that I'm able to share with members to help them achieve their goals and get closer to their goals. And so what I'm going to do with that is we're going to wrap this up. It has been a pleasure being able to present this information to you. And what I'll do is I'm going to cut the recording off, and then we'll go ahead and we'll take some questions. Okay?